So with that, I think I'll give it over to Lin Chu to start us off. Lin Chu is the Executive Director of the Institute for Women's Empowerment. So if we can please welcome her to HKU.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really very happy to be here and really excited that there are so many different people next group here. I have 10 minutes, okay? So I won't divert so much. The thing is that if the theme here is migrant women workers, I work in Indonesia. We had a program that was about women's empowerment. And in fact, the last 5 years, in which context the project that we did with Vivian, who came to Indonesia, and some of the products are here. We made 14 one-minute videos or at least let's say 14 of our partners made one-minute videos of a message that they themselves wanted to say. So just to be very, let's say, focused and to the point, we were really very interested, I was very interested to have Vivian there and to do this project in Indonesia in the context of our work on women's empowerment and of leadership building. Because our concept, let's say our framework of empowerment and is really, you have to do it yourself, right? In a way, everybody empowers yourselves. We do not go out to empower other people. That's not possible. And what goes into that empowerment and the sense of being able to be a leader and of accepting and of deciding that, yeah, I can do things, I can be a leader, takes quite a lot of internal, what we call an internal work, building up of your own resources from inside. It's not just getting skills from outside. I can learn how to speak in public. You can learn how to lobby or talk to somebody in authority so that they can, accept what I'm saying. Try to influence people to change things. But before you can even do all those things, there is that step you have to take within yourself of saying, yeah, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I can do. And this is what I will do. So that has been always our a framework, a concept for what we call leadership building and women's empowerment. So the project that we did with Vivian, it was really something, a bit of an experiment, but it was great. We worked with domestic workers. That's one of our partners there. Domestic workers, but local domestic workers. Actually, they were not. Let's say they're not cross-border migrants, but of course, internal migrants. Yeah, you could say they were, yeah. And we worked with women porters, and that's another women porter there in the film. And we worked with home-based workers, women who were making things at home, producing their own things, or cooking food, or making things to sell. So we decided to have this video workshop with these 3 groups of women, and together, not separately, together. And it was really so many aspects of things that came about. One thing was to make a video, to hold the camera in their hands. It was all the first time for all of them, right? They had never done this thing, so they were really excited to come, and we had to really limit the numbers because we wanted to have really kind of a good, deep kind of workshop and not just. It was not skills. It was not just learning the skills for us again. So one important aspect that I would like to mention here is that what we thought was the core, the really goal of what we were trying to do with this workshop was that the women, decided for themselves what is the message, what is the one thing they wanted to say, and they wanted to say it public. Because many of them had really never had opportunities to do that before. And that was also one of the things that was very much appreciated in the end. And the process of doing this was also quite special because we started off really trying to build a safe space wherein women could open up and first of all share with each other, and tell things to each other that they'd never done so in, openly. Many things came up, issues on their private lives, right? Like someone had undergone, suffered domestic violence. Someone else had, really been had bad childhood or things like that, which they had not really talked about with their colleagues or with each other. So that was one thing that they were able to come out with that, and that really made, also created that kind of atmosphere where they were able to, to really focus on their stories and the surprising thing was they all said, no, I want to say that, like I want to tell that story, whatever it was, and really held on to it. So that the sense of empowerment, the sense of I'm telling my thing, was really key, was really very important. The other important aspect of what we did was that these three groups worked together so that they were listening to each other's stories, and there were different contexts in which they lived and worked. And although it was still Indonesia, but still there are different contexts, right? Domestic workers had different issues, from the home-based workers had other issues, and the women porters had other issues. And they also learned listening to each other, so that it built also a sense of solidarity with each other. So that was another thing that we could do in this workshop. And the other thing was also in the practical. Of course, it was a media workshop, so they had to learn how to make a video. So we did that in 5 days, and a team made up of just came together and say, all right, you be the cameraman, you be the I've forgotten what they were all called because I'm not a media person myself. But anyway, all the different roles that had to be fulfilled were done by their colleagues like that, right? So working together like that on a concrete issue, on a story that one of them will say, like, okay, she was really guiding a story, it's like this, it's not like that. So we have to do it, it's always, the direction of that. And then to try and visualize it together, to find the props. So we did all that in 5 days, right? And then to get a product in the end that they could look at themselves, really saying those things they really wanted to, and to tell their own stories. So there's so many aspects of it that I can't, it's like little bits and pieces, but all together, it was a fantastic kind of experience. And that's all possible with this kind of work. That's what I'm kind of trying to say. We did that one workshop and we promised them we would go on, because they all wanted the second one. And other people who heard about it and who saw it, of course, because after that workshop, we had this 14 videos that were put into one series, right? So you had like stories one after the other, although it was just 1 minute, still they made quite a collection, let's say, of different aspects of life, of these people. And we showed it at the jamboree that we had at the end of the program, which where 250 women were present, and it was fantastic. They were all like, wow, when is the next workshop? We want to come. So it was, they understood, they could see, what it was, just to see that their friends, their partners, or their standing there and saying, or acting out some really private issues of their lives was very empowering. It's very empowering to them. Yeah? So that's what it's about, that visualizing the voices of women. That's a powerful tool, really, because it's concrete. You can see it at the end, but in the process of it, a lot can happen. And you have to be clear, of course, what is the goal that you want to reach. We were not making advocacy videos, so it was not about talking about a certain problem or issue, but really saying, what do I want to tell people? Whoever is going to see this video is going to know a little bit of my life, and that was the important thing. That was our experience to open this. Thank you.